Welcome to Ultimate Report. I'm Mary Winkenwerder. Foundation is the cornerstone of a great face of makeup. It pulls all the tones together while providing protection. Sometimes getting a perfect shade match can be quite challenging. Is there a way to satisfy all of these qualities in one application? One company has developed a foundation process that matches your skin tone beautifully while meeting other vital needs. Joining us this episode is Debbie LaBrant-Hartung from Lip Bar to share with us more about her unique foundation process. Debbie, welcome to Ultimate Report.
Thanks for having me, Mary.
It's great to have you join us. This is really exciting since I used to work with custom blend foundation professionally. So this is amazing. So
Okay.
Foundation is a very personal beauty tool for looking great. What inspired you to create your brand of custom blend foundation?
That's a great question, Mary. 35 years in the business,
Mm-hmm.
all of it on the sales floor of major retailers.
Sure.
Nothing more frustrating than a woman who would come up and she'd really be in between two colors. And having to teach her how to pump two kinds of foundation in her bathroom every morning, it became a bit of a science experiment for some of my clients and was very frustrating. So I wanted to be able to customize it for each individual person. So many women, they might find the perfect color, but then they wanted it without sunscreen. And I would get this, oh, I wish she made it with this, or I wish she didn't put that in. So I'm now the genie who gets to grant all those wishes.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Seriously, I love what I have it on and I love it. It does really nice things for the skin. So there are so many foundations on the market to choose from. I mean, you go into a side counter, you go into mass market, you go online, you go into a major retailer, and it can become mind-boggling. What makes Lip Bar Cosmetics Foundation unique from others?
So aside from the fact that we can custom make it, we certainly have formulary colors that some of my spas that I am not there all the time, we have some basic formulary colors. But the other thing that makes it unique is the exclusive microlyzed collagen that goes into the fabulous formula. So it's an additional pop of cell turnover and anti-aging. So
That's enough for me. All right, so your process is unique from others that I have been a part of or that I'm familiar with. From start to finish, can you please tell us how your custom blend foundation process works?
absolutely. So I have here just a little beaker, and it all begins in a beaker and with a conversation with the client. And if the client is not local here in Colorado, I do a lot of this type of thing or FaceTime. And I will ask the client about their needs. I can make anything from a tinted moisturizer all the way up to a full coverage foundation. And the client also gets to choose the container. So our most popular is the pump. We can also put it in a jar when the request becomes for it to be very heavy. And I also have a little bottle that has a spatula. So three choices. We will have the conversation and we will decide if the customer is oily, if they're dry, if they're sensitive, do they want sunscreen. And so normally I will start with one of the bases that I feel closely matches. And something very unique about my foundation, our bases, which are minerals, have 11% pigment. The industry standard is 3% or less.
Right.
So for starters, you're going to get a lot of coverage without any extra weight. So know that unless we make it really thick by request, even in the pump, a little bit's going to go a long way and you can layer it. So once we determine whether the client wants a tinted moisturizer, an oil-free, a matte, or an enriched, I will then in this beaker mix up their collagen. And then the next question would be, do they want it to have luminesce? Because I have a pearl additive. And I'm not talking shimmer or glittery, just like you look very dewy and you have a glow to your skin today. And I know we put pearl in your foundation.
Absolutely, and this is the reason why.
The next question I find out, do they want sunscreen? And women are like really not in the middle. They do or they don't. Some prefer to use their own sunscreen in their skincare regime. And then after that, we talk about the client's age of their skin. Do they want the copper peptides? Do they want oil control? Do they tend to get red and irritated? I have a soothing. Is firmness a concern? So in this little beaker, I mix up all of those things, and from there, we will do a swatch via Facebook, or if the client's in front of me. And if the client is unsure about the fact that we might need to add a toner of blue-brown or yellow or something, you have in your hand that little tiny sample cup. I will at that point pour a little bit into a sample cup and send it to them and have them try the sample cup. Yes. I'll have a sample. Oh, dear.
No worries. We're good.
And from that sample cup, they can then contact me and tell me, okay, it's a little too yellow, or I want it a little deeper or richer. So I go ahead at that point and package it and send it out. And again, if it's not quite right, it's just as simple as mailing it back to me and I will adjust it for them.
Yes,
so.
It is. Yeah, and I actually went through the process with Debbie, and she's very on point. She does, she will ask you a lot of different questions, to provide the best service possible in delivering, the right color match, which is extraordinary, especially, when she's not in front of you, so this is great. So that's basically how you color match the skin. So how many base shades are available? And, and we're familiar with some of the additives that you have available, but, what is your range of additives that a client can have added to their formula?
So within each of the oil-free, the enriched, and the matte, there are about 12 base shades to start from, and they go from very light to very dark. The tinted moisturizers come with 4 base ranges, and they really do cover quite a range. I have probably 12 toners which are colored from blue to purple to brown that we can add. And then we probably have about 10 different additives as far as the soothing and the firming and oil control and that type of thing. So we can make it very simple, and I'm good about recommending to clients. They don't really have to make all those decisions. I guide them.
Okay. Now, one additive that sticks out that you just mentioned is soothing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that that additive, and how it, and what all it does? What kind of treatment is it?
So that particular additive has some aloe, and it's able to actually take the redness and the irritation out of the skin. So quite honestly, you want to wait a second? I'll tell you what's in there.
Absolutely, please.
Okay. Sorry, that was one exact question I wasn't prepared for.
No, that's okay. Take your time. This is...
I'm not embarrassed to say that I live by notes and don't have everything committed to memory.
No, that's okay. I do the same thing. But it's for somebody who is struggling with skin sensitivities, this might be a savior product for them.
Absolutely. Just looking through my notes. Okay. The Soothing Botanical, pardon me, I'm going to read from my notes. It contains 5 synergistic botanicals: butcher's broom, hydrocodone, marigold, horse chestnut, licorice, and hydrolyzed yeast protein. So it has the ability to soothe, reduce redness and inflammation, and improve circulation.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. So in essence, it can decongest.
Yes, it can decongest.
Wow.
So thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important because there are so many people who struggle with sensitivity, skin sensitivity, and if there's a solution for them, absolutely, I absolutely want them to know about it. So we have this great product in front of us, and we're excited to use it. What are your best tips for application? Do we use our fingers? Do we use a foundation brush? What are your best tips?
Going back to the fact that it has that 11% pigment, I really find that if you pump one pump onto the back of your hand, and use your fingertips. It's so heavily pigmented that a brush and sponge, you can use them, but you're going to use far more. You just don't need a lot of this product. So I then take my fingertips and start just sort of stippling it on, not rubbing like it's not moisturizer, just stipple on all over, and then I go back and just kind of glide and blend. And if you feel you need a little more coverage in certain areas, you can go back and apply a little bit more. But I'm always tempted to put an extra pump on the back of my hand, and every time I do, it's too much. I've wasted it. So.
Yeah. It is easy to, I mean, there's a lot of product in here in this container, and it is easy, so, you know, to apply a bit too much or to pump out a little much. So from my experience, you know, apply it or pump out conservatively, and you'll get the best results. You know, that's my, you know, sometimes I think more is better, but and here, you know, you don't need it because, again, there is 11% pigment in this. So with one application, I mean, I wore mine for quite a while, but on average, when you develop this product, you know, and, you know, from experience, how long can one application wear?
So you have properly hydrated your skin with a moisturizer, and if you happen to put on a primer, even better. With the use of proper moisturizer and a primer, you're going to see 10 to 12 hour a day without really having to retouch.
That's wonderful.
Without a primer, I think you go down to about 7 or 8 hours.
That's fantastic. So where can we order this product right now? I mean, we want, you know, we know about it, we know about your process, and where can we get our own Lip Bar Cosmetics Custom Blend Foundation?
So because it is custom blend, you can still go to the website, which is lipbar.com. And there's a section that says custom, and it's going to direct you to the toll-free number I'm about to give you.
Okay.
Toll-free number is 1-800-285-5941, and I am the person that's going to answer that, and that's where we will begin the conversation and perhaps turn it over to a FaceTime or a live video chat and meet in person.
That's amazing. That really and truly is amazing. And I like to say that, you know, mine matches me, which is really unique because when I created Custom Blend Foundation, the person had to be right there in front of me. So, you know, Debbie's able to use this video FaceTime technology in order to create the best blend for you, which is amazing.
And a lot of times, Mary, I will start by taking one of the formulary colors between my eyeball and the video screen, and I will send that little sample of a formulary color, and I believe that's how you and I started.
Absolutely.
And from there, we were able to tweak it and come with a full foundation. And I really try to get to and ship those the very same day. So it's not like you're waiting weeks for turnaround.
No, yeah. I mean, I can attest to this. Everything happens quickly. It happens quickly, and it's better than satisfactory. It's satisfying. So that's really good. So where can we catch up with Lip Bar Cosmetics online and engage with your online community?
So online, our website again is lipbar.com. Please join me on Twitter at LipBar Denver, and we have a Facebook page. It is LipBar 90210.
That's wonderful. So Debbie, thanks so much for joining us. It's been absolutely amazing visiting with you and learning more about your Custom Blend Foundation process.
Thank you, Mary. It's very exciting. I love doing this.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks so much for joining us on Ultimate Report. Catch up with me on my blog, www.beautybeauty.com, on Twitter @BeautyPublicist, and on YouTube, Ultimate Report. Thanks again. Have a beautiful and successful week. Mwah!